Jonathan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. So today we're going to be talking about The Abandon, a film that you star in. How does it feel? I know it's still we still have a long time until release, but how does it feel that this is the actual month that is going to be released?
It's beyond exciting, and it's been such a labor of love and such a passion project in every sense of the definition that it's just so cool to finally see that people are getting eyes on it. It's getting seen. It's getting well received, and that everyone involved that put their heart and soul into it are finally going to get some kudos.
That's amazing. And what intrigued you of your character Miles Willis on the film?
I think what drew me to him initially was that I love the genre. I love the space. I love the subgenre. But it was the first character I'd seen in a story like this that really had so many layers and depth as the character Miles does. It was in a lot of ways a dramatic character that just exists in a sci-fi world. And for me, that was something that I found compelling because so often I get frustrated in sci-fi movies where the characters are just, you know, the bad guy or the good guy that turns out to be the bad guy, but there's no real in depth of story or the way they present themselves.
Yeah, that is like just this your typical sci-fi film. There's a bad guy, there's a good guy, or there's a good guy and there's an alien, or the typical story. Yeah, but I wanted to know as well, this character, we see so much like in the film. Were there any traits of this character that connected with you? Because I know that sometimes, let's say for instance, other characters, actors or actresses, they don't find a connection, but they go ahead and they study their character. They look for ways to like get that connection. Did you feel connected with your character?
I think that was probably the biggest hurdle for me approaching the character of Miles was that I felt zero connection with him. I felt for him. I had a sense of empathy about the structure of the character, but he and I couldn't be further apart in the way we are and the way our lives are. Um, and I think that was part of the challenge and part of what drew me to him was wanting to better understand a person that's living with in this constant sense of isolation before whatever happens in the movie happens. And no matter what, no matter who's around them, there's something they're living with day in and day out. And I was fascinated by that, and it was a real challenge to recreate that.
I can imagine because I've heard so many different ways on how actors and actresses get into their characters. Some of them do feel, connected with them, but that's why I asked because we're talking about a character that not going into detail, right? But goes through a lot of things and goes through a lot of reality check. Yeah, I would say reality checks
Yeah,
while the film, right? Um,
yeah.
how was it working on set? I want to ask as well in this same question, how was it working with the cast, with the crew? Because I know that this film has a particular difference on how you work with your cast members, but how was it working on set? Because the the whole film is in one same setting, and
Mhm.
then it goes a part of that setting. I would say beginning and end, not like that. People can imagine what it is.
Right.
How was it going through that, and how was it working with your cast members and the director?
It was as about as perfect as it could have been of an experience, and the film was the project was already quite a feat for all involved. So I think if there wasn't that sense of symbiosis or being on the same page, it would have never been possible. We started rehearsing about 3 months before, and really approached this like you would approach putting a play up on a stage, knowing that once we started, we were just gonna kind of have to go. And I made the decision early on to just kind of step into the character and just live in it for the duration of the shoot because it was such a short shoot and it was already going to be so taxing as it was. Um, but there was just this constant air of respect and calm on set from every person on set. And I think that every person was there at the end of the day because they wanted to be, not because they had to be. And because of that, as we started to really find the movie and the story and make it through our days, and each day it was like we can't not make it through this day. And as soon as we did succeed in that, there was this calm, collective sense of triumph that really propelled us into the next day. But yeah, I mean, for those that have been on sets, they know. I mean, everyone down to the grip and electric team, who usually are like the roughest guys on set, that it's always like a first day of school with them, how they're going to look at you and treat you. Everyone on set was just so in it to win it, and so respectful of what was going on, and there was a mutual respect, I think, on both sides of that, and it really made for a very unique working environment, knowing that had anything fallen out of place, we probably would have fallen short of having a complete movie, and you and I probably wouldn't be talking right now. So,
And Jonathan, being my final question for you today, if you could describe the film with one word, what would it be?
hopeful.
Hope. I see it. I see it. I see it.
I
I
think
see
the
it.
film is hopeful. That or claustrophobic, but I'm gonna go hopeful.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree with both words. Jonathan, thank you very much for giving us the time to talk about Abandon. And I hope everybody enjoys it as much as I did as well. And I hope to see you once again in another project, or maybe, I don't know, probably maybe a sequel. Nobody knows.
We shall see. But yes, thank you. I appreciate you so much, and thanks for having me on.
No, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.